Nathan, thank you so much for joining me on Misunderstood. I am so excited to meet you. So welcome to my show.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? That's what's up. I'm proud to be here. You know what I mean? It's a real pleasure to meet you as well.
Oh, you're awesome. So it's funny, we share a mutual person in common. Gina, who you work with, is someone that I've known for maybe 16 years. And we have, we have a very long history together. She's a great woman. I'm glad that she represents you and has been with you. And she's, it's just really a pleasure to meet you. So,
Hey, that's what's up. Shout out Gina.
yes, exactly. Shout out to Gina. All right. So, Nathan, what's interesting about you and why I'm having you on the show, and I explain this to you, is that a lot of people, most people, know Doggface as this guy who is just this chill, cool guy sipping on ocean spray, listening to Dreams. And that came out of nowhere because the chill vibe of what we were watching didn't necessarily match with the guy who was on the back of that, even though it represented your vibe, right? Like, and everyone was like, who is this dude? So before you talk about that moment that we all know you for, I really want to get to know who you were. And like, I want to hear all about your upbringing, like where you were right before this hit, what your aspirations were, because it's so fascinating to me that none of us knew you before, but then you were on everyone's mind after. So kind of take me back. Like, where were you born? What kind of family were you born into?
I was born and raised in Idaho Falls, Idaho, and growing up back in the day, I don't know why we chose Idaho, but my dad's family side of the family lives like 5 hours from us in Oregon. My mom's side of the family lives with us 5 hours in Wyoming on the res where I get my native side from, and then my dad over here get my Mexican side from. But like I said, we basically parked in Idaho. I guess it's because it's in the middle of everybody, you know what I mean? So yeah, born and raised in Idaho. And
well, hold on. What was that like? I mean, I don't even know how many people have been to Idaho. That's like a
right.
random place.
Every
Tell
time
me
I
what that's
say
like.
Idaho, they think I'm talking about Ohio as well.
Right.
And I guess we're both forgotten states, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're still here. A bunch of agriculture state, you know what I mean? And
so is it just wide open fields? Like, what is that like growing up?
It's not really wide. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, there's just fields on fields of just, potatoes. That's what we get. That's what we grow here and everything. And beets, onions, stuff like that. There's just agriculture state everywhere, there's cities, 60 miles, 30 miles expanded from each one. We got 60,000 people where I'm from, so it's small town living, but you know what I mean? It's pretty chill.
Right. And did you grow up with nice things, with money, with, a big family?
No. When I grew up, we grew up in a trailer park, and we had 9 of us living with us, the 2-bedroom house. And yeah, I was in my mom's bedroom, sleeping with them in their room, just a spread room, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like from when I was at least about 6 or 5 or 6, you know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, just real cramped in there, but we made it work. And my dad was a hardworking man. That's where I get all my work skills from and everything like that, and growing up, we lived at a trailer park that was like walking distance from the warehouse that my dad worked at, where I eventually got a job at, you know what I mean? And it's just been, yeah, that's Idaho for you.
And was your family close?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? We were a close family growing up. We did everything together, family barbecues, everything like that. And just experience life as we can in a small town.
That's amazing. And so what were your aspirations when you were a kid?
When I was a kid growing up, I mainly wanted to be a basketball player, you know what I mean? Being in Idaho Falls, we're 3 hours away from Salt Lake, and the Utah Jazz was one of my favorite teams, growing up. And the Dream Team, John Stockton, and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, everybody, you know what I mean? It's just, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up. And then I had a shortfall, or I don't know what you want to call it, but when I was 9 or 10 years old, I went and met one of my basketball stars, Carmona, you know what I mean? Carmona and John Stockton, they were a duo. And I went to meet him, and I was like so excited to meet him and everything like that, because he came to Idaho and everything. I wanted him to sign some cards for me and everything like that. He looked at the cards and he's like, I don't sign these cards, And I was like, what? Okay, that's cool. Then I was like, can you sign my shirt? All happy still. And then he like leaned back and he looked at his manager like, what is this kid doing? And I'm just like, yo, dude. And I just like looked at my mom, and my mom's like looking at me like shocked. And I was looking at him like, yo, forget this guy, man, So they pulled me off, and I was like, dude, I don't want nothing from you. You know what I mean? So I left, and to me, that should have started me off to where, like, you know, I'm gonna be a famous basketball player one day. You know, I'm gonna, you know, show Carmona up. You know, but no, it actually turned me the other way. I actually started getting into trouble. Started, you know, the gang life, or what you can call a gang life in little old Idaho. You know what I mean? It was a family thing. You know, we started hanging around together, you know, and getting in trouble and stuff like that. So yeah, it kind of took me the opposite way. And then I just told myself, though, when I was younger, you know, because I always felt like something big was going to happen to me in life. And I was like, if anything ever happens like that, where I become famous or something like that, I always used to practice my signatures, you know, everything, you know. And I was like, if anything ever happens to me in life where I can be blessed to give people, you know, autographs or pictures, I would not ever say no. And, you know, luckily that happened, you know, and it's crazy. But yeah, fast forward or rewind back again to the crimes and all that, whatever. But yeah, I did get into some trouble and stuff growing up, you know, being a kid and everything.
Were
But
you
yeah,
ever arrested for
little
those?
town, you grow up quick, or you end up going to the big state, you know, going up to prison or whatever. And
Right,
yeah,
right. But so like what kind of crime were you ever arrested for anything?
definitely. I was in and out of jail for consumption tickets, you know. I even got a ticket for smoking cigarettes before I was 18.
Oh my God.
uh Theft. It was crazy, you know. Just, and then I went to jail. I think it was for I think it was 3 or 4 months straight, or no, it was a month straight. Every weekend I was in jail because of consumption tickets. So I was drinking, you
Oh my
know, and it
goodness.
was underage drinking. They put me in, they take me out. Next weekend I did it again. So yeah, I was kind of like going down the wrong route where I
Yeah.
wanted to go, and I just needed to smarten up, you know. And then I got into a fight in jail, actually. And one of my friends that helped me in the fight actually told me, yo, dude, we got two ways to go right now. You know, he's like, we can either just get out, smarten up, or we can just, you know, we're going to end up going upstate, you know, is what he was saying. And I was like, no, for real, dude, I understand what you're saying. And so he kind of like those words that he said, you know, and then everything that was happening on the outside, you know, I wasn't being involved with. It just kind of helped me straighten myself out. Then I got out, got steady with the work with my dad, and just started working at the warehouse. And then honestly, I was at the warehouse forever.
So explain what that's like to work at a potato warehouse.
It's insane, especially being from Idaho. You know what I mean? It's okay because it's kind of expected. But I got my first job at a potato warehouse when I was 14 in Idaho Falls. They let me work, I think it was 8 hours exactly, or it was 6 hours. I can't remember what it was because I was 14. But as soon as I turned 15, which back in the day was illegal, I think it was the legal age to work. Either way, when they gave me the 8 hours, 4 hour days, that's when I started working, you know, full time into the warehouse or whatever. I did we everything from stacking boxes, 50-pound boxes, to making the bags with the 50-pound potatoes in there, stacking the bags. You know, I drove Heister. I've done machine work and everything. I've been in and out of the whole warehouse ever since I stepped into it, you know, and it's 14, and I think I didn't stop until the video, you know. So what
So,
was
and
I,
at that point, when you're doing it for that long, and by the way, how old were you then when the video came out?
37?
Okay, so basically 20, 20 years or whatever that is, a little over.
Yes.
So as you're working in this potato warehouse and your life is, going on, are you thinking this is kind of it? This is what I'm no longer going to be the basketball player?
Definitely,
Where is your head
definitely.
at?
I had a moment when I was at work, when I was sitting there and I was just loading up the bags. And this is going on like before the video, right? Almost before the video happened. And I was just thinking to myself, I was looking at this thing in front of me, and there was dots everywhere and like little rust spots and everything, you know. And I was like, wow, that kind of looks like America, you know. This kind of looks like, you know, us over here or something, you know. I started thinking to myself, I was like, man, we're like this little anthill right here, and I've only been to the states surrounding it, you know what I mean? And this is the world over here. And
Oh,
I
wow.
started thinking to myself, man, what am I doing? Am I gonna be here for the rest of my life, you know? Am I gonna be this little ant that's giving potatoes to everybody that's getting pushed out to the world, you know? And I'm sitting here just producing it, you know? I
Hmm.
started thinking about that, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I figured in my head that the world's a big place, you know, and I wanted to see it. So then, you know, this isn't when I was doing the videos. I was still in the mix of doing the videos at this time. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So I never thought that doing videos or going viral or anything like that would happen, and I didn't know what would come with it after. So
Right.
like I said, once again, shout out to Gina Rodriguez, because she kind of like showed me the way after everything, you know.
Right. Of course. So somewhere in there, you became a father.
What's
And
that?
somewhere in there you became a father, right?
Oh yeah.
And your daughters, were they the ones that introduced you to dancing or making videos? Like, how did that even come into your thought process?
I was always a dancer growing up. My dad, he used to always, mimic. He's like, see Michael Jackson on screen. Hey, can you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Let's see, let's see. I'd mimic people dancing on TV. I have fun with it. I just make the family laugh. I was always the joker around the family, trying to make people laugh, dancing, acting skits out or whatever I seen on TV. And yeah, so freaking, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was asking about if your daughters were the ones
Oh
that kind
yeah,
of
okay.
introduced you
And then yeah,
to
like I said, one
dancing.
time, okay, before it was TikTok, it was Musically. And then I seen my daughter, she was on it and she was doing videos and dancing videos and stuff like that. And I came home from work one day and she was on the steps doing some kind of dance that they were doing where it looked like you were walking up the steps while you were dancing.
Yeah.
And I told her, hey, I can do that. And she's like, no, you can. And I was like, yeah, I can. And then she's like, well, let's see it. So I did it with her and everything like that. And then she's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And me and my daughters growing up, they stayed with their mom growing up and everything like that. I was always just a worker at home and everything. In Idaho, they stayed in Montana with their mom. They came back I got them on the holidays and everything like that. So yeah, whenever they came, we was just chilling and everything. And this was something that helped me bond with my youngest daughter the most. So I was like, I liked it. It was a good app and everything.
Sure.
But when she left and then she came back, it switched to TikTok or something like that. And then she's like, this is the same app, but it's different name now. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I started watching it with her and everything. And there was different people on there. There were older people on there that I seen my age. There was sounds on there that was like from back in the day, and I started doing more dances with her and everything like that. And then she finally said, okay, you know what? You're clouding up mine. I need to make you your own, or you need to make your own. And I was like, well, I'm not going to make my own TikTok, or whatever. So she ended up making it for me, password, everything like that. She ended up going back home. I ended up learning the app and learning how to do it and everything. So then when she came back, I started doing more dances with her and everything. And I actually went viral doing a dance called the Get Up Dance. And I copied a dance from, I can't remember his name, but he did a dance that went viral. I did the same dance and I gained like 39,000 followers overnight or something like that. 60,000, I can't really remember what it was. And I just like so happy and ecstatic. And I told my daughters, I was like, look at this, and they're like, whoa, you're going viral, and this and that. I'm like, okay, cool, And I was like, I guess I'm done now. I can quit, and everything. And then my daughter's like, no, no, no. My oldest is like, why are you going to quit? You got all these followers, all these people watching you now, you got to keep going. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I was like, I don't even understand what I'm doing now, or whatever. Right. I'm just having fun with the app. And then, so yeah, after that, we just kept continuing doing videos. I ended up losing my account at like 162,000 followers. It was. Wow. I started trying to sell merch with a marijuana leaf on it. Oh, and nice. TikTok did not like that, so they banned my account. So I had to restart. Oh no! Yeah, it was crazy. So took me like 4 months, but I built my account back up to 160 or 173,000 followers. I think it was in 4 months, and then after that, it just kept doing videos, having fun, and then it built it up to 750 or 720,000 before the video hit. Oh, no way. Okay, so I didn't know that. So you had already established like a thread, kind of. You knew how to kind of do it and build on it. People started to know you and see you. So, but originally you were doing this just for like the heartwarming feeling of the likes and for people commenting. And it sounds to me like it was great. This guy from where you were, just like you're talking about, now you were a little bit more out there as opposed to the guy in, this little ant. Yeah, definitely. But it wasn't for money back then at all. No, definitely not. And like I said, I didn't even know money would ever come from this. I didn't know money could come from this. Mm-hmm. And, it was just a trickling effect and it was just insane.